Take 3. I think here's the best spot for me to be, except I can't really move my arm around here. Move this way. Son of a bitch. Move me this way. Yes, I like it. I am a dangerous animal. Alright, let's go. And let's cut down the theatrics. Alright. For those who find romance and/or sex alien, boring, repulsive, etc., look no further. Post here to discuss aro life, concerns, etc. Romantics and sexuals can post here as well, but please be courteous, keep it mainly the subjects of aromanticism and asexuality. Heck, feel free to just bring anti-sexuality and anti-romanticism into this. Fine by me, just don't devolve into a flame war. I don't really know. Maybe consider it natural to want to partake in such a nasty act? I mean, I know we evolve our biology to want to reproduce as a way of prolonging our species like all other species. Against our conscious will, of course. It seems to be hardwired for living things to want to reproduce. As such, a lot of things unconsciously want to mate, or at least carry out mating functions, which seems to have evolved to be pleasureful, so as to give the species more incentive to reproduce. Sex is how humans and many other species reproduce, so that is unconsciously seen as desirable, pleasureful, natural, etc. to the species that reproduce via sex because of how we evolved. With that unconscious bias in mind for most people, the thought of not wanting to carry out something so hardwired into the general populace's mind is so alien to them that because of that hardwired bias, I imagine some of us asexuals also have a hardwired bias against sex for some reason or another, which makes wanting sex alien to us. Basically, I assume a lot of bias against people who don't want sex comes from a lot of hardwired biological bases. I don't know. There are parts of the internet that think real life reflects fan fiction and babies after is the only way to achieve fulfillment. How are babies even considered happy endings? Hey, you just saved the day and everything will return to normal. Now go spend the rest of your life raising smelly, whiny spawn. I'd like to name a child. That's something I've always wanted to do. Have a spawn that I can brand as my own using a random assortment of letters. But then I have to raise it, feed it, clean it. No fuck you way. I prefer humans on the other side of computer screens to humans in real life. I'm becoming almost aromantic as time goes by. It's weird. I feel like I no longer care about having a partner or being in a relationship, which is weird because I used to be a huge romantic. I find in losing nothing. From what I've seen, practically all romantic relationships are inferior to just plain friendship. People in them just seem so insecure or whatever. And there's this fact that they're far more hormonally and short-term emotional based. I get very negative vibes from romantic relationships and I wish people would just stop forming them. They seem so short-term and it seems to hurt people more than help them in the long run. It could be my own extremely pessimistic views on romance, but it feels way overrated. Compare this with plain friendships, in which you tend to hang out with this person because you like them for who they are, not because of some shallow reasons like how they look, how they dress, etc. Later emotions will eventually dry up, and unless you're friends with this person, you're eventually going to find yourself in a pickle and very unhappy. Plus, familiarity breeds contempt. And there's the fact that when you get older, your hormones subside more. Speaking that, romance seems more hormone-based, and it seems like people do it because of the subconscious desire to reproduce, which is what love emotion is partly for. Romance seems like a drugged-up state, while friendship has the chance of actually being qualitative. I suspect the couples that are still together and actually happy are that way because they're good friends with the other person long after the shallow, hormonal-driven parts have subsided. Basically, romance is shallow, drugged up, hormonal, short-term, and emotion-based. Friendship can be qualitative. Can be because you actually like the person for them. Can be long-term emotion-based. Romance is bad and shallow. Friendship can be good and meaningful. Plus, you're ace. I suspect romance is reproductive-based more. We don't want to sex or reproduce using ourselves. Nothing to stimulate shallow romantic desires equals less romantic drive and love emotion. I like the idea of eventually settling down with a wife and maybe having a singular child, but that just seems really far away in the future. I don't really give a shit about being in a relationship now. It's weird. I can't wait to be a middle-aged man with a stable job and an afternoon nap every Saturday. I think that due to how fucked up our world is, you got to be getting any of these dreams. Things are just going to get worse. I don't know about how much. Just don't feel bad that you're not being in a relationship. Be happy. You're free, and you don't have to deal with another person all the time. I never said that friendship couldn't be based on shallow reasons. I only said it could be based on reasons with actual substance, unlike romance, which is purely shallow. I've turned anti-sexual, and to a lesser extent, anti-romantic, based on when my dad cheated on my mom. They're divorced now, thank gosh. I was already asexual, aromantic, and repulsed by the idea and concept of sex. But over time, it made me outright hate them. The fact that me and so many other of my family, friends, etc. were worth less than my dad's penis just infuriates me. Something so shallow and disgusting has more worth than other people. I also hate the way my dad treated me, my mom, and so many others. He's better now, but again, we're worth less than his girlfriend. The relationship he has with her seems so insincere, and there's the fact that he's not the dominant one, or even equals. If I'm getting it right, in relationships like this, the people involved should be more or less equals, and there should be no dominant person. He's intimidated by her, and does more for her than the reverse. He does tons. She doesn't seem to reciprocate. Plus, there's the fact that he cheated on my mom when I was even younger, which didn't last like this one. Who's to say he hasn't cheated a million times over? What if he's cheated with his current girlfriend? I'll laugh when the relationship finally fizzles out. My jackass dad and his jackass girlfriend deserve it. There's also the fact that media and so many people hype up sex or romance to be the greatest thing ever. I loathe having to hear about such stupid and shallow things every waking moment of my life. And the people doing the actions don't actually look as happy as they claim to be. And you hear about so many breakups, sexual abuse, etc. that hurt so many people, turning people's statements about romance and sex being the best thing ever against them. So basically, I'm deeply against romance and sex for hurting my life and so many others' lives. It means so fucking stupid, shallow, overhyped, overrated, etc. I'll be damned if another person has to suffer due to such shallow, base urges. I don't think I even covered, although it makes me so angry about it. I swear I will get surgery to prevent any sperm from getting into my penis or affecting me, even getting rid of it entirely if I can. I'd like to get rid of all the sexual romantic parts of my biology I hate, but I can't. Biology can be such a bitch sometimes.